This session is a continuation of the Chapter 2 review, starting with problem 9. So this problem says, use the diagram at right to determine whether you can assume the statement. Points A, B, C, and E are coplanar. Coplanar means the points are all in the same plane. So here we have point A, which is in plane P. Point B is in plane P and plane M, because this line BC appears to be in line and plane M and plane P. Point C, just like point B, is in plane M and P, and point E is clearly on plane P. So yes, A, B, C, and E are coplanar. And now on to problem 10. So can we assume line HC is perpendicular to line GE? So here's line HC and line GE. We can see that there's this right angle symbol here. So because of that right angle symbol, we can conclude that HC is perpendicular to GE. Now on to problem 11. Points F, B, and G are collinear. So let's take a look. Point F, point B, and point G. Well, it's possible that they could be, but there is no line drawn between them, and so based on this picture, we cannot assume that G, F, and B are collinear. So our conclusion is no, you cannot assume points F, B, and G are collinear. And now on to problem 12. Problem 12 asks, can we assume line AB is parallel to line GE? So here's line AB, here's line GE. There are no special parallelism marks on these lines. There are no angle markings anywhere on these lines, so there's no indication of any relationship between the parallelism of these two lines. So we cannot assume that line AB is parallel to GE. So our conclusion is no, you cannot conclude that line AB is parallel to line GE. And now on to problem 13. In this set of problems, we're being asked to sketch diagrams based on the description that were provided. So number 13 says, sketch angle ABC, an acute angle, which is bisected by ray BE. So let's start over here, and it doesn't have to be pretty, just reflective of what they're asking. So we have an acute angle, so let's make some acute angle here. Again, not pretty. So this is A, this is B, and this is C. That's supposed to be a point. And it's bisected by ray BE. So we have a ray, and it's going up through here, and this is point E. Now, this is not yet indicating that ray BE is bisecting angle ABC. So we have to insert these little congruence arcs. Now we have a representation of angle ABC being bisected by ray BE because of these two arcs. And now for 14. For 14, we have angle CDE, which is a straight angle, is bisected by line DK. So we have a straight angle, so we're just going to draw a straight line here, and we have points C, D, and E. And this straight angle, CDE, is being bisected by line DK. And so line DK will be going through here. So let's go ahead and put in line DK. And we'll put point K somewhere here. Now we have a choice to make. We have to indicate that these two angles are congruent. Now, the basic way to do it would be simply to put little arcs inside here, indicating that those two angles are congruent. We could go one step further if we wanted to, and we could say, well, because a straight angle is equal to 180 degrees, and if this is bisecting these two angles, this angle must be a right angle, and that is a right angle. But we're just going to keep pure to the description that they're giving us and showing that line DK is bisecting these two angles. And now on to problem 15. Now number 15 is asking us to draw plane P and plane R intersecting perpendicularly in line XY. And we have segment ZY lying in plane P. Now this is going to be a difficult thing to draw, so I'm sure you're going to have great fun over the ugliness of my drawing. So let's get started here. Let's draw plane P. So I'm going to draw plane P. Okay. And now I have to have another plane intersecting perpendicularly. So this is the difficult part. So we're going to draw this up this way, and then over, and then we're going to come down, and we're going to keep coming down, and then we're going to come over this way, and now we have to come up. So I'm going to draw it solid, but in fact, since plane P is being obscured by plane R, this part should be dotted because plane R is hiding this part of plane P, and this part should be dotted because plane P is hiding that part of plane R. So let's go ahead and see if we can't do a little editing here and make these look a little dotted. Okay. All right. So now what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to show that these two planes, plane P and plane R, are perpendicular. And the way we would do that is we would put this little right angle symbol in here, drawing it as close as possible to perspective. And it says that it is perpendicular in line XY. That means they intersect at line XY. So we're going to try and draw a line XY straight through these points. Okay. All right. And so we'll put a point X here and a point Y here. It doesn't say that X and Y have to be in either of these planes. And so now the final piece, we have segment ZW in plane P. So since it's in plane P, we'll put it on this front part of plane P. And so we have segment ZW in plane P. So I'm sure yours would look different. You can draw it any way you want, but this is a general representation of their description. And now on to problem 16. In problems 16 through 19, we're being asked to solve each equation and justify each step using properties of equality and whatever other properties we need to do. So I've got this two-column table here where we put statements on the left and the reasons for those statements on the right. So first thing, we're going to copy down our first statement, and we have negative 9x minus 21 equals negative 20x minus 87. This is given to us, so the reason here is given. Alright, and now you can do any number of things here to solve this problem. I'm going to add 20x to both sides, so we'll have 11x minus 21 equals negative 87. And since I added 20 to both sides, that's the addition property of equality. I'm abbreviating property of equality, POE. And now I'm going to add 21 to both sides. So we have 11x equals negative 66. And since I added again, that's the addition property of equality again. Now usually when you have two statements that use the same reason, you can use one reason, but because this is a pre-generated table, I wrote it twice. But let's keep going. Now we're going to divide both sides by 11. So x equals negative 6. And this would be division property of equality, since I divided both sides by 11. And so now we go on to problem 17.